Welcome to Some Good Tea, where we drink some tea and share some tea. I'm Katie Bresnahan, and today I am sharing some tea with
me, Jessica Adams.
Oh, she's pretty cool.
Sometimes.
The tea we are enjoying today is Wild Sweet Orange. Pretty excited about it. I've had it before. I don't know if you have.
No, I'm excited. It smells great.
Yeah, I'm very excited. So our topic today is going to be decided by rolling a D20 for you nerds out there. Jessica, if you do the honors.
Sure. Okay, guys, we're going to do this with like a messed up wrist. We'll see how that goes. 8.
Okay.
Oh no! Already we're starting this.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I have no idea. This is so great. So our overall topic for this month is the end. And one of the ends that we deal with on a regular basis are butts.
Oh no.
So what are your feelings about them? Is there a superior butt? Questions, comments, concerns?
I'm concerned that my face is going to turn red throughout this conversation.
That's okay. Nobody can watch it.
That's true. From a professional standpoint, where we work in vet medicine, they're okay, I guess, as long as there's no diarrhea, there's no anal glands.
I should not be trying to drink my tea while you're talking.
Probably not. You know, those kinds of things. Here, I'll let you take a sip.
Oh, no.
I guess they're okay. I don't have much thoughts. That completely threw me off my A
game. Do you feel like there's like an animal that has a more appealing butt than other animals? Corgis have. You know, people are like into the corgi butt pictures.
I don't know.
People really hate cat butts, but you can like, you know, get.
Have you seen cat butt charms?
I have seen them. You can get like charms, or you can get magnets, or you can get like there's coloring books of cat butts. But there's also yeah. You did not know this?
No, I try to avoid this topic.
Well, the dice have decided it's the topic that we're talking about.
Well, if you were asking, I would assume cats, mostly because when you scratch their little back ends, they raise their little butt up into the air, and their little elevator works great.
Elevator.
Mm-hmm. And I love it when Australian shepherds are wiggling so much that their whole entire back end just like. Like that spay we had the other day. When she was in the back, she would just wiggle her entire butt.
Yeah,
it was the cutest thing.
Pretty happy. She was pretty happy.
I was going to steal that dog. I wanted her so bad.
She was really cute. Yeah, I really like nubby tail dogs or like boxers, boxer puppies, and they just wag their entire body.
Yes.
I think it's really cute.
It is so stinking cute. Puppies in general are just cute. Puppy butts.
Yeah, see?
There we go.
So puppy butts.
Yes. Yeah.
Puppy butts are cute. Okay. Cool. Do you have any like cool facts about animals and or their butts that you want to share?
Not about butts. But lots of animal facts. I could give you a list. It just depends on what kind of animal you're asking. Okay. I can tell you all about owls.
We're specifically wondering about butts.
I feel like
you're the one who rolled the dice.
Look, I told you my wrist is wrecked.
Yeah, that's what did it. Definitely not Jessica's luck.
No, I saved that Declan hair from falling in my tea. So I don't know. Animal facts. I got some horrific ones, but I'm not going to go into detail about those. Okay. I mean, we could talk about no. We're not going to talk about that one.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, this is really bad for the first go.
It's great. I think it's wonderful that immediately, or that's the topic that we ended up with. And we could always roll the dice again if you feel like it.
Probably should, because I ain't got nothing on this.
Okay, well, there you have it, guys. Jessica's feelings and opinions about butts. Cats apparently have the superior butt, and we like dog wiggly butts.
Yes, and I hate Sphinx butts. They're little. You know what? Okay.
Yeah. See, here we go. Truth comes out. You heard it here first.
First from Jessica. I hate when Sphinxes, whenever they're running around the clinic, if like we have a kitten that sits, it's like their little butt becomes a suction cup, and then it completely goes and it leaves little butt suction cup marks on the counter, and it's like disgusting. I can't deal with that. And then whenever they try to put their butt up in your face, you can see everything. There's nothing left of imagination. I hate that.
Very true. So, I mean, would you say then you only like fluffy cat butts?
Yes, like Declan.
Like
Can't
Declan.
see it.
Yeah. Declan is my cat, and he's very fluffy.
And
you can find it if you're looking for it.
I'm not going to openly look for that.
Okay. So then do you also dislike, you know how like you sit in like on a towel on the beach or like in the grass, like when you leave behind the butt mark, you know? Like, are you one of the people that you have to like brush it away, or you just like leave, just evacuate?
No, but that leads to a funny story. Like once at Evermore during the summer, it was like 102 degrees.
For our visitors at home, Evermore is a very nerdy
fantasy
park.
theme park. Yeah, it's real. Think D&D, but real life, real time. You can go on quests. You can do a bunch of adventures. Shenanigery up the wazoo. It's really, really fun.
Probably every time we have Jessica on here, it's gonna get brought up at some point.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, I have so many stories there. But anyways,
yeah.
While I was cleaning up after one of the bird and reptile shows, it was late at night, and I sat down after cleaning off the benches, and I looked to my right, and there was this sweat butt print there from some sweaty old guy who had been sitting there. I don't think this poor guy realized that his pants were so wet, and because from his sweat, it was so bad.
Was it like the, oh gosh.
And so you could
butt
see
sweat?
Butt sweat.
Like
swaz.
Oh
no! On this bench. And so I was sitting there and I was like, ooh. And so I went into the back, I grabbed our cleaner, I tried scrubbing this butt print away. It stayed for 2.5 months.
It
stained it for 2.5 months. And sometimes if you look at the bench just right now, it's been like 2 years since that happened. It's still slightly there. And it's like that butt print is forever gonna stay.
You did not warn me about this butt print bench.
I actually kept you away from the butt print bench. We moved it.
Okay, good. Oh my gosh.
It was great. And we've also had fairies explode, and the glitter stays forever.
Okay. She's not referring to fairy butts. She's referring to, I assume.
No, the fairy butts.
Fairies.
No, the fairy butts. Because when they come in, they're completely covered in glitter, yeah?
Oh.
And then they sit down, and as soon as they go, it's like glitter everywhere. And you can literally see it in the show, too. It's like when you're running around with the birds, it's like, that's a lot of glitter, and I don't want to clean that. So, glittery, sweaty butts.
That's great. I love that for you.
I didn't. I've tried to clean it. I've sanded it. I've re-stained it, and the butt print stays.
It's powerful, Swaz is strong.
Strong with that old man.
Apparently. Oh my god.
That's
pretty terrible. That's pretty terrible.
Oh yeah.
Cool. I feel enlightened. I appreciate your thoughts and feelings about butts. That was very good.
Was so thrown off by that one.
You never know, right? You never know what might happen.
No.
Okay. Well, you can roll the dice again, and this could be another question for you, or it could be a question for me.
So let's go with you. It's your turn.
Okay.
Yes.
I have some really pretty dice, you guys. This might just be an excuse to use them. Ooh, that is, this is number 16 is what we got on the dice. And so this is the appendix. It's the end of books, like textbooks have appendices.
I don't even know.
And there's an anatomical structure that's called the appendix. And so the question is like, do you still have yours? I do still have my appendix. I've never had appendicitis.
Oh, good.
I've heard it's pretty terrible.
Well, knock on wood that you don't get it now.
right. I've heard it's pretty terrible. It used to kill a lot of people before antibiotics and surgery and stuff. Oh yeah, it used to kill lots of people. I had a younger brother who had appendicitis, and had his appendix out when he was like 16 or 17.
That's really young.
Yeah. I've had roommates who've had appendicitis, not when I was living with them, which I appreciated them for getting that taken care of.
Yeah.
Have you ever had appendicitis?
No, I've had other problems, but not that. You
Okay.
know most of them already,
Okay.
but nothing internally. No, thankfully my intestines have been working very nicely. Knock on wood.
That's good.
Mhm.
That's good. With all the good things that we fuel our body with at work.
You know, so I'm so grateful for the sugar that Dr. Goddard gives us, and the pirate booty. This stuff is
Oh
good.
gosh, yeah. That was a new addition to well, I guess there's 2 snack drawers now.
There's technically 3.
Oh shoot.
So the cabinet where we keep all the teas and stuff, Dr. Reed has stuffed a bunch of Sour Patch
Oh,
Kids
I
up in
did
there.
see the Sour Patch Kids, yeah. And I stashed tea up there because tea is important.
It's very important.
That's my emergency stash of tea. Also has an emergency stash of honey.
I did notice the honey
Yeah.
there. Liz asked who that was.
Yeah, I brought that in just in case, just in case I fail and I don't get my tea ready in the morning.
Well, you don't want to use the bandaging tea in the treatment area?
Oh, the honey?
Mhm.
No, no.
Did I say bandaging tea?
You did. I was very confused. I was very confused.
I don't think you could put tea on like a wound, right? Less black tea just to draw out some stuff, because I know it does have that.
No, we don't really have a use for just like your average the stuff we're drinking or like green tea or whatever. We don't have like a topical
Tea.
I mean, you could. I wouldn't. Typically, we want to reduce exposure to like bacteria and things. So no,
True.
no.
Cool. So in other words, if I get appendicitis, don't put that tea.
No,
on that.
don't
Okay.
put not that tea.
Dang.
Not that tea.
Dang, I'll just sip this tea, which is really good, by the way.
Oh, thank you. It
Mhm.
is. It's very nice.
It's like
It's kind
summer.
of just a little summery.
Cup, yeah. Considering how snowy it is
A
outside.
little sweet. Yeah. So anyway, that's appendicitis. I feel like it's important for people to know your dog or your cat or your horse or your guinea pig or whoever. They don't really have appendixes, the anatomical structure. They don't have an appendix. Appendix?
Appendix, yeah.
Yeah, I can speak. I swear. They don't have one. And there's been a lot of debate in the human medical field of over the years of like, what is the function of this weird little finger that sticks out the end
that causes death.
Your small intestines. It's a little protrusion of tissue, like a little teeny pocket, like a sock. At the end of where your small intestine kind of turns into your large intestine. For a long time it was considered vestigial, evolutionarily useless, like how people thought about your tonsils being useless before we realized they were immune tissue.
They're pretty great.
They're good until they're not. Same thing with the appendix.
Yeah.
It's been seen to have a lot of immune cells there too, but also kind of seems to store a lot of good gut bacteria, good microflora, as we say, and seems to be able to repopulate things when your gut needs it.
That's cool.
But because it's little and it has only one way out. Hi, my cat Declan is gracing us with his presence. Because it only has one way out. It can get blocked. It can get inflamed for different things, and that's when you have problems.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's insane. I haven't gotten fully into the whole anatomy stuff, and I didn't really stay in my anatomy class because I didn't have money for it. But
money is overrated.
And that's fascinating. I have been enlightened for reals now. This is a better conversation than butts.
I don't know. I feel like butts anatomically are also very interesting. But that's okay. So yeah, your appendix is important. It is a useful, important structure for you to have. You can definitely live without it, especially if it's inflamed. Appendicitis meaning inflammation of the appendix. Yeah.
That's insane. Just like tonsillitis, inflammation of the tonsils. So that's
or elbowitis, inflammation of the elbow.
Brainitis. Inflammation of the brain right there.
We are so smart, you guys. So smart.
You are. Sometimes I question mine, but we'll go from there.
So, I don't know why most like animals don't seem to have an appendix.
It does it
I don't know
go
why.
to the duodenum though? Isn't it where it goes?
No,
Or the
okay.
cecum?
So,
Because
yeah.
it's supposed to be like the cecum is
Yeah.
what the appendix
Yeah.
is supposed to be.
Yeah, so the cecum is kind of like another little outpouching, like a sock. I don't know why I keep using that.
Oh, you're not wrong.
Yeah, it's like a curly little curly sock.
Yeah.
But the cecum is kind of the transition between your small intestine and your large intestine, and the appendix comes right off the little end of the cecum. And because human medicine is the way that it is, that there's you can look up depictions of different positions and sizes and shapes of cecum and their associated appendixes, but they're the same. It's the same kind of anatomy.
That's bizarre.
I know, it's weird.
Go look at it right now.
Okay. Pulling out the Dr. Googles. Be careful what you Google when you're looking for pictures about anatomy. That can be
dangerous business.
Yeah. Then you'll keep getting pictures of weird anatomy. But yeah, the appendix. So most animals have a cecum, but not all animals have an appendix attached to their cecum.
Yeah.
I don't know about bugs. Don't ask me about bugs.
They don't. I can tell you that. I had a professor who was obsessed with entomology, and we learned all the things that I don't want to know.
That's great. That's great. I think if you're into bugs, that's good for you. I am not.
As clearly we can see when spiders are found at the clinic.
I do know that a spider is not technically a bug.
But still, did you know, this is a random go off, I found out about this last night, scientists are now starting to infuse dead spiders with fluid because their legs move like a hydraulic pump, and they can use it as like a little vice grip, and it's strong enough that it can hold on to things and pull it up. I learned about this last night.
I have so many questions, like mostly why, but okay.
They're pretty strong.
Yeah. I mean, that tracks. There's a lot of things that are strong about spiders, but okay, everybody gets paid for something useful, something good.
Yeah,
that's great. Okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, anything else you want to know about your appendix? This is by no means a medical podcast, but if you think that you might have appendicitis, you should probably talk to your doctor about it. It'll usually be very painful. It might move a little bit, but it'll be very painful kind of to the right of your belly button. And then it might move down. The pain might move down a little bit, but it's ouchy.
Ooh.
And that is a medical emergency. You should not
let that
sit on that,
if
literally or metaphorically.
Because if that sucker ruptures, think of all the toxins going throughout your body and how fast it goes, especially when the abdomen fills with fluid. It's like everything is suctioning that up into the intestines anyways.
Yes. So when an appendix ruptures, or in any bit of your intestine like ruptures and leaks into your peritoneal space, the space between like your guts and your body wall, it's called the peritoneal space. There's a lot of blood vessels. It's fairly permeable, and you become what's called septic, where you can have bacteria and the stuff that was inside your intestines, all those good things that are supposed to be in your intestines now are inside like your abdomen and your bloodstream, and your body doesn't appreciate that. And septic shock is kind of like anaphylactic shock, where you'll have a really, really strong reaction, like an immune response to it, and you can die. You can die from being in septic shock. So
it's pretty quick too, isn't it?
It can be. Yeah, it can be really, really fast. So that's part of why appendicitis can be really, really serious and should always be checked out. There are options now if it's not super advanced, it's not really bad. There are like treatment options to be on fluids and antibiotics and those kinds of things to save the appendix and spare you from having to go to surgery.
I'd rather just have it out,
man. I mean, yeah, that's kind of my feelings. If my appendix turned against me, I'd probably be like, get out. But there are options to try to avoid surgery now, which is great. But depending on where you're at in the appendicitis, surgery might be the best option.
Or they have it taken out. It's better to
Mhm.
get it out before it ruptures.
Mhm.
And if it
Yep.
ruptures, go to an ER, y'all.
Yep.
Medical advice from non-medical people.
We are not. This
Not-
is nope.
No.
No.
We're just here for the tea. And
Yeah, this is
great.
good tea.
It
This
is
really
good tea.
Do you want to roll the dice again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna try with my other hand.
Okay.
19.
19. Okay. Oh, this might be interesting. I'm actually really curious about this for you.
Okay.
Since we're talking about the ends of stuff, what like if you have been in a relationship, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but the end of a relationship. Tell me about the end of a relationship that was actually like really like decent. It was decent. It was good. It wasn't like, and now we have a restraining order. Like
I've
a
had
good
one of
end
those
a
actually.
relationship. Okay, well you didn't roll. You didn't roll to get that one.
I know we rolled to get a good relationship.
Yeah, the like best end of a relationship, whether it was like a friendship, a romantic relationship, maybe a work relationship, whatever. But it was like it ended okay. It was good.
I gotta think about this because there's a lot.
Yeah, I'm very curious.
I haven't really had a lot of romantic relationships, so that one kind of falls out. But
Okay,
it's okay. It's a story for another day. Just thinking about that. I think I did tell you about this one though at work one day. I don't know. I've been pretty good at keeping my relationships. I think one of the other relationships that fell out okay was the one where I worked at Riverwoods Pet Hospital for a little while. And I was didn't really have the greatest relationship with Dr. Dobson there, one of the head vets. She was interesting to put the least. And when I put in my 2 weeks notice, she was furious to begin with. But then she's like, but you're still going to invite me to your vet school stuff, right? And I was like, yeah, if I get accepted. And she's dead now. And so,
oh wow, okay.
Listen.
Okay, I'm gonna take a drink of tea now.
I'm spilling the tea. So, but as I was getting closer to the 2 week mark, I was like, okay, Dr. Dobson, I'll keep in touch with you. We'll keep these things. She wanted me to illustrate a book for her that she was writing for little kids about following and aspiring to their dreams.
Aww.
And I was like, yeah, for sure, I can help you with that. And we kind of didn't go into that because she got so busy. She had an ostrich farm out in Florida that she would go and visit as well.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. She was
just goes places, you guys.
I have stories that are a trip. But she, in the final 2 weeks, she was like, I'm sad that you're leaving, but I'm also glad that you're leaving. And I was like, the heck? And she was like, not in that aspect. She was like, I'm glad you're going because you're going to learn so much more. You're going to have so many more opportunities. You're going to meet new people. And she was like, this is an exciting time for you. You're getting ready to apply for vet school and stuff. Just keep in touch. And I was like, lit, I can do that. And 2 years ago, she died. She had a aneurysm in her brain for whatever reason. She got a clot there, and then she was like, boom, dead. And so I'm sure she rolls in her grave with the ton of things that I do sometimes. But probably. But that relationship ended out on a good note. Like if I needed anything, I was fine to go back there to help talk to her about different things or to help her out with stuff. Like if I had exotic animal questions, she'd be happy to answer them. But another coworker did not end that relationship very well. If you want to hear that story, that's a pretty good one.
Sure, we probably can. Probably should leave out like names, but yeah.
We'll call this girl B.
Okay.
Okay, so B here. No, we'll call her G. So G, this girl.
Oh my gosh.
Look, this is how I keep names secret.
Just so you guys know, there is no crack in this tea. This is just herbal tea.
And I'm just a wired up maniac.
She is just this way. This is just Jess.
Especially after I get a really good night of sleep. Thanks, by the way.
You're welcome. I'm glad it helped.
So G was there when I first started, and she was this kind of person who, from the get-go, she kind of had a toxic vibe to her. And so as you would walk in, she'd be like, oh yeah, I totally like you, but then she'd turn around and stab you in the back or try to get you in trouble. And she and Dobson were constantly butting heads, fighting all the time. And so G decided that one day she was going to quit. And she was like, Jessica, as I was working on a dental, she was like, I I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do to Dobson. And I was like, I don't condone this or support this in any way, but go on ahead and tell me.
What?
And she was like, on my last day here, I'm going to wrap every single surgical pack in double, triple tape. So you know how our autoclave tape? And she
No.
flipped all the instruments around, so it screwed up everything. So
No.
we had 6 surgical packs
No.
that she decided that she was going to screw up, and
Oh
she made the
gosh.
surgery suite a disaster. She ended up switching out a lot of the medications, which was incredibly dangerous.
Oh, that's no.
Yeah, and
Oh
when
my
I found out
gosh.
about that one, I was like, absolutely not. And so I watched G, and when I saw her do it, I stayed afterwards to fix the problem. I fixed the
Oh
mess because I was
shiz.
like, I'm
Oh.
not going to deal with this. And I didn't catch the tape because by the time she had finished it, it was too late. I was like,
Yeah,
oh no.
she'd wrapped them.
And I also had to go to class. And so at the end of the day, she screwed up everything. And the
Oh my
next day when we
gosh.
go in, I was in surgery with Dobson. And as she was opening everything and getting things ready, she's like, who did this? I was like, oh,
What?
it was G. The rage that came from that woman and the rage that came from me to have to reassemble all those surgical packs and then have to order all the tape and everything.
Yeah.
And it was a
the
really,
tape is expensive.
it's way expensive.
Using an autoclave is expensive. Like,
And then nothing was
oof.
technically sterile for surgery either because we had to disassemble
So I had to
everything.
take everything apart and re-sterilize.
So thankfully we hadn't sedated anything before, but
That's
G
good.
completely destroyed that relationship with Dr. Dobson.
That's really sad.
Yeah, it was really, really sad.
Yeah, that's really sad.
Yeah.
I'm like all about, obviously like a healthy work culture. Yeah. Declan is currently lounged on the floor as a pancake, and it's very cute. Um, but I'm all about like a healthy work culture and respecting those boundaries and things like that. And like if you're at a toxic place and you're getting out and all of that jazz, and quitting and moving on, good for you.
Right.
Like that's good, that's great.
But
Make
do
sure that, but do it professionally, and maybe you're leaving on good terms, maybe you're leaving on bad terms, and maybe they really do deserve it. But
She
I don't know, like take the
didn't.
higher ground,
Mhm.
like take the higher ground. And like I don't know what her situation was like, but like oof.
I mean,
Especially messing up like medications in a pharmacy, that's so dangerous.
it's
Like
so.
it could be very dangerous for patients. That's so dangerous.
I don't know what was going through her head when she told me that, especially
Oh gosh.
And I did end up telling the business manager about it too. And
That's good.
if it hadn't been for her last day, she would have been fired right on the spot. But it was bad. Felt really bad. And then like this last year, she messaged me and she's like, "Hey, I'm trying to get a job at this place. That's like a place that I used to work at." And I was like, "It's a great place." And then my friend who works there, who I'm still in really good relationship, was like, "Who is this girl? How is she? I saw you guys are friends on Facebook." And I was like, "Let me spill the tea."
Here's some tea. Here's some good tea.
It was really good. And needless to say, she was like, "Okay, never mind. We're not hiring her."
And that's the other thing why you should, like, if you're gonna leave a place, leave on a good note, even if they suck, right? Even if they're people that really suck.
Yeah.
So you don't want to burn all your bridges, and you never know what kind of connections things are gonna have and how it could affect you in the future.
Exactly. And where I kept my good connections with Dobson, I was able to go back and get more mentorship still, and to be able to, if I ever needed a job back again, she would hire me again.
Yeah, which is great. Which is really good. Yeah. Dang.
Yeah, that's the tea.
I mean, like, that's good tea. That is good tea.
Yeah.
Like, oof. I would have been ticked. I would have been super ticked. I don't like things to be unorganized anyway. Like in my own personal space, it's kind of like meh. Like if you guys could see my kitchen right now, like ooh.
It looks fine. I mean, I'm not there. Look, there's nothing bad over there.
We're not looking over there. We're looking over here.
We are looking at Declan.
But like, in the workplace, especially like in the medical field,
you can't do stuff
there's
like
a reason why things are the way that they are and things are organized the way that they are. Even from just like wrapping a surgical pack.
Like you don't need to wrap a ton. You like need only like what 5 inches of tape, if not 4, to keep your surgical pack closed.
It's just to help hold things closed and to act as a marker. And it's expensive. The tape is not cheap. And obviously we go through a lot of it.
It's like $30 a roll.
Yeah, it's stupid. but even something as little as like using too much tape or using too little tape can jeopardize the pack itself, which means like it might not be sterile, and that could be a life, that could be a life. So yeah, we have antibiotics.
And that would go back to the appendix, because then it can cause
Yay!
other problems. Septic stuff if you're in there unsterile.
I don't know if there's ever been a case of appendicitis following abdominal surgery because of unsterile stuff. I think you just become septic.
Which would be unfortunate.
That would suck. But maybe, who knows? As I like to say, biology does what biology wants. So yeah. Dang.
Yeah.
Well, dang. I
It
mean,
is. And I'm sad that Dobson's dead, but
that is really sad.
Everything comes to an end. When I found out, I was like, oh dang. But her death was covered for like a month, but that's a whole nother story. So
gosh, yeah. Well, and we didn't roll in that one, so we don't really get to talk about death. But
yet.
For anybody who's forgotten at this point, we're talking about the end of things, and that was a lot. That was good.
Yeah,
that's good.
There you go. All right, your turn.
My turn. Okay. Let's see. Let's use a different one.
Rolling the prettiest of the dice.
Ooh. It is really pretty.
I would have laughed if you'd gotten a 1.
I would be really funny. So death. Since we were just talking about it.
Oh my gosh, wait, what did you get?
I got a 14. Sorry, yes, I got a 14. So death is like a really final and complete ending. As generally we assume. Most people don't come back. Hi, Declan. But some of the most like dramatic deaths are usually murder.
True.
So the question for me is, what's the best murder mystery I've ever read about or watched, fictional or otherwise?
This one's gonna be good.
You guys.
We talked to Shawnee if she brought in on that one.
Oh shoot, yeah, that'd be good.
Anyways, you guys, tea.
So I'm a huge fan of, I don't want to say murder, but murder mysteries, like the genre, murder mysteries.
Just death.
Like on again, off again fan of like true crime. For me, there's like a line where if it gets like too gritty, or like if it involves kids or something, that really bums me out. Yeah, it's sad. Like I think it's important to be informed, but I don't want to be entertained by learning about kids' deaths and stuff. So that's a little much, but I really enjoy a really good murder mystery.
Have you heard Murder with My Husband?
No.
That one is really good.
No, I've been thinking about listening to that podcast. Another podcast, recommendations. Murder with My Husband.
Murder with My Husband and Red-Handed.
Yeah. Ooh, Red-Handed is also very good.
Yes.
So look those up, guys. Not a sponsor, but they're good. There's some good tea right there.
Yeah, but real good.
So I grew up reading a lot of murder mysteries, like your classic like Sherlock Holmes and Agatha Christie stuff and Miss Marple, but anything in between. And my mom is really into murder mysteries too, and so we would always watch whatever was on. We were very into it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I really like them. So it has that like nostalgic aspect for me, as well as I love the whodunits and trying to puzzle things together. And
yes, and
it's
seeing
great.
If you're right or wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And especially lately, like there have been some that have come out that are just they're so good, you guys. But this is actually funny. I got this one because lately I've been on a like true crime kick, and I've been watching like every true crime thing on Amazon and on Netflix and like everything. I've just been like eating it up, like nom nom nom.
So what you're telling me is you probably will have a low chance of getting murdered.
Oh my gosh, my paranoia has gone through the roof lately, and then it explains it. But it's I've never felt like threatened. I also don't really have a life, so there's that. Like your chances, I think, of getting murdered go down drastically when you don't get out.
But if the murderer, wait, if the murderer knows your pattern, it's easier to go after.
That's true. If you have a stalker or something like that, so that's a little different. But yeah, so I've been watching a lot of true crime. I don't like. There's a new like Unsolved Mysteries series that they did on Netflix, and I actually didn't like it, and it's because there's no satisfying answer.
So it's like a cold case?
Yeah, they're cold cases and they're unsolved.
Those are the
Because
worst.
there's some there's a couple of good ones where it goes over cold cases that they reopened and got answers to, which I think is so cool. I love that type of thing and learning how, you know, the advancements in science and that type of thing helped get answers for people.
Yes, especially with
cool.
DNA. The DNA synthesis that they've been able to figure out is
so much
good.
faster.
Oh yeah,
so much faster than it used to be. So I love that. But the unsolved mystery stuff I used to watch a lot as a kid, but now I find I don't like it because like it's like, and we still don't know, and it's like, well, F.
What happened? Where's their body?
I want to know what happened. I want to know who the bad guy was. Like, it's just like, and it just still sucks. So it's like, well, that's dumb. And like, I get the, you know, putting the information out there and getting people engaged and getting the outreach. Maybe they'll find leads and be able to reopen a cold case.
Yeah.
But I just get bummed out.
Well, it's kind of like the Susan Powell case that was years
That
ago.
one was very interesting.
Yeah, there's this guy that I follow who goes into mines and stuff because, you know, I'm all about going to dark places.
Kids at home, don't go into mines. I don't care if it's an abandoned mine or a not abandoned mine, especially if it's an abandoned mine, don't go in there. Like, no. All right, continue.
I feel called out. Anyways, so this guy, he was just like, okay, we're going to reopen the Susan Powell case and we're going to try to find her, right? And out in the West Desert, especially if you go by 5 Mile Pass and if you go down by Eureka, there is
this is the West Desert in Utah, and she's referencing a case, what was it, back in like early 2000s?
I was like still in high school.
Yeah, it was like early 2000s. This woman went missing and was never found.
It's a pretty famous case if you guys haven't looked it up, but
it's very interesting.
Because of this guy, the case was reopened and it went cold for a while because after Josh blew himself up with his kids, they had no leads or anything like that.
Yeah.
And this guy, he was looking down inside of a mine shaft and he was like, there used to be an oil pump that sat on top of it and now it's completely collapsed down on the inside and it was set on fire on purpose. And he was like, she's got to be down there. Sus. Yeah. And so he goes back through and he links everything that looks like it could be Susan Powell. And throughout this entire video, he's showing the digging process and they pull out a couple of bones and then they take it to a lab out in Utah. And they did not find her. It was a couple of coyote bones.
Ah, damages.
I know, but it's cases
why would you do that to me? I was ready to be like, shiz, they solved it. I was wrapped, guys. I was wrapped. I put my tea down.
You did.
Dang it. I hate unsolved mysteries.
And so when you talk about that, that reminds me of that case. And that was just last year that this guy did. And he's not going to stop. And there's another kid by the name of Dylan who went missing in Mount Pleasant recently.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah, his case is still cold.
Yeah.
And they found leads, but they haven't found him.
Yeah.
So
it's tough.
It's
really tough.
I just thought I'd bring that up now that you say that.
Like that.
So
yeah.
there you go. That reaction is everything I hope for.
I don't like you're welcome. I don't like that. I don't like that because it's not very, for me as a viewer of an entertainment genre, it's not very satisfying.
Yeah.
But I do really like the investigative process and learning about the real science and the real stuff associated with it. Like the fictional stuff's all really fun.
Yeah.
You know, NCIS, all that jazz. Like I love those shows.
I love those.
But my gosh, there's some scenes where you're like, that is a technology that does not exist, and this is not how we do this thing. But it makes it very entertaining. So,
yeah, it does.
I feel like I'm just trying to think of like what I've seen recently that I really, really liked. There's, oh gosh, I want to look this up so I make sure I get the right name for this thing. Oh yeah. It's called Shetland.
Ooh.
Like the place Shetland, the Shetland Islands.
Ooh.
It was done. His first season came out back in 2013, and it's excellent. There's a couple seasons, and it follows the local kind of detective and police department on the Shetland Islands.
Mm-hmm.
So good, like so good.
So I need to check this out.
Then. I like it very much. The head detective and his kind of like personal story with his daughter and family is really good, and kind of seeing him mentoring his up and coming detective, and also seeing what is it like when you have like no resources and you're in the middle of the ocean on these bitty little islands that never have anything happen, and then all of a sudden you have a dead body. Like what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's great. I like it. I feel like it's one of the more accurate to the place and time as far as like their resources and their technology and how they would go about investigating things.
Yeah.
So I feel like the writers did a really nice job, and it's good. It's so good.
Oh.
And gosh, there was one, I just rewatched one of the so they usually don't solve the case in just one episode. Like there'll be kind of a season almost for each case.
Mm-hmm.
And I just rewatched one, and it'd been a while and I forgot.
That's even better because you can come back.
Yeah, I came back and was like, I know they solved it and they caught the guy, but I forgot who the guy was, and dang, it's good. I don't want to give anything away, but you should definitely watch Shetland.
And where was it again? Netflix, or is it on Amazon?
It's on Amazon right now. I had to get another subscription like through Amazon in order to get all of the seasons. But last I checked, it's on Amazon. You can watch it on YouTube. That's what Google says.
Well, I'm still at Man in the High Castle, so I'm still figuring out that one. And
Also
my
good.
freaking heart.
Also good. So, I mean, there's a lot of death in Man in the High Castle. There's definitely a lot of murder.
There's a lot of murder. There's gore that I was not expecting.
I tried to warn you.
You did, and I'm just like,
it's bad.
It's bad, but it's okay. It's good.
It's bad. Well, we don't want to do any spoilers, but where are you at right now? What episode are you on?
You're gonna be still mad at me. I'm still on season number 5.
What?
Listen. I'm trying to study for the GRE and the falconry test.
That's fair. That's fair. It's not, for anybody who wants to know at home. Man in the High Castle is based on a book. It was then turned into a series, like a TV series by Amazon. It's extremely well done.
Oh, it's so
good. I highly recommend it. You cannot watch it without, like, you have to pay attention. Like, you can't something.
Be distracted,
like,
otherwise you'll miss it.
Yeah.
Like, I stopped my carousel horse that I was working on because I was like, I'm gonna get lost.
Yeah, you like can't wash the dishes. If you're into coloring books, like, you better put that sucker down. Like,
I should have me when you said that.
Good. That's what you're gonna miss something important if you look away for more than 2 seconds.
Like, I looked away for 2 seconds, and this is a small spoiler, but the body and the mind, I was like,
oh
the heck did that come from?
Oh gosh, it's rough.
It's so, but it's so good, man.
It's really good. It's really good. Yeah, Man in the High Castle. Definitely watch that one. Mm-hmm. Definitely watch Shetland. Shetland is much shorter than the Man in the High Castle. Like, there's less episodes per season. Not quite as, like, on the edge of your seat, Inception level intensity.
Man in the High Castle.
I
have to take that one.
So if you need to, like, breathe for 2 seconds, maybe watch some Shetland. And the accents, like, I know this is very American of me, but dang.
It's okay.
It's great. It's really great.
Nothing wrong with accents, especially if it's Irish or Scottish.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So there we go. There's my 10 minutes of tea about
murder. That's okay. Murder. It's good. It adds the content. It adds body to it.
It does. Mm-hmm. A literal body. Oh no. Well, on that horrible note of a pun,
I've got more, but that's for another time.
Yeah. We'll wrap things up there for today, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I guess that's what they say.
Heck yeah.
And we'll talk at you later.